Hi guys, Everyday Knife Guy here with a video that I fully expected to be making for you at some point, but maybe not quite at this time. This is a knife that's been on my to-do list or to-buy list for quite a while, and I saw a deal on one of these used actually on Instagram, and before I knew it I hit send funds on PayPal. I had to have it. It just came up at the right time and at a price I couldn't ignore, so I went for it. This is the Zero Tolerance 0550. I'll turn that around there and you can see there 0550 Hinderer design, made in the USA of course. This was a bit of a flagship model for Zero Tolerance when it came out, one of their sort of earlier Hinderer collaborations I suppose. You can see it's used, the pocket clip's a little bit beat up there. I did actually polish that up and sand it up a little bit to kind of ghost out the logo of the ZT there. It was just looking a little tatty before, and it actually looks a little bit better polished. This is the second generation of 0550. As I understand it, there's 3 generations up until I think it's discontinued now. The first generation, the lock bar, actually the front face of it, if you like, was solid. And in the second generation, there were a lot of complaints about the lock bar being too stiff and being hard to disengage the lock. So they actually changed it round, and you can see this is cut out almost all the way down to the blade there, if I can get this camera to focus. And yeah, the lock bar is a lot more flexible in this one, and it's really not too hard to disengage at all, so that was the main difference. I'm trying not to show you the front face of this just yet. So that was the difference to the second generation. The difference between this and the third and final generation was, this is of course a full titanium frame lock. On the third generation they actually put a stainless steel section in here that had a little adjustment screw as well. So the actual lock face was stainless steel, which of course is a more durable finish for a frame lock. So that was the difference between the second and third. So it doesn't have that, but other than that is the full-fledged bells and whistles deal, and yeah, very much in love with it. So one of the things that caught my eye when I was considering picking this up wasn't so much this side as this side, which you can instantly see is a little bit different from the standard model, which looks like this. So there you have it. There's a standard G10 scale, and this was included when I bought the knife, but it was this wood scale that kind of caught my eye. I'm a bit of a sucker for wooden handles, and I thought that was a pretty neat look. You can see there, and this is actually a custom made scale by the previous owner of this knife. And it's really been made very, very well. The finish is excellent. There's no burrs, or there's no differences in height or anything. It is super well fitted. Really excellent job. Let's see if I can show that off a little bit for you. And you can see it follows all the jimping and all the cutouts perfectly. Really nice job. I'm no expert on wood types or wood grains. The Fat Man actually commented on the first video where I very quickly previewed this and said, why aren't you showing off that beautiful walnut handled ZT? Is this walnut? I'm not too sure. Maybe someone can chip in and confirm that one way or the other. I'd love to know what it is. As I say, I'm pretty clueless on wood grains, so I honestly couldn't tell you, and I'm not in touch with the previous owner to ask him. So yeah, so that was what caught my eye. It's been quite well used. It's quite well broken in, which perhaps isn't a bad thing because it is buttery smooth. So nice. The action on this is awesome. I'm just going to get rid of that scale. So there you can see the stonewash blade. Blade's pretty good condition, a couple of minor scratches, but overall really nice and sharp. This side, you can see there S35 VN serial number. Beautiful blade. I've used this a lot in the few days I've had it. I've used it for some food prep, breaking down some cardboard boxes, just general stuff around the house, but I'm very, very impressed so far. Ergonomics on the handle are lovely. I like the feel of the wood. It's nice and warm. There's a little bit of texturing you can see in the light there. There's a little bit of dimpling to it. It's not rough, so if you're doing any hard use tasks, I guess it could become a little slippery if your hands were sweaty or whatever. But for just general EDC tasks, feels really nice in the hand. In my size of hands, yeah, 4-finger locks in there nicely, just fills the hand. There's nothing too much hanging over. thumb rests on top here where you got some quite large jimping. It's not aggressive, but it's just nice to give a bit of grip there. You can see the details on the top. No flipper on this, it is just thumb stud opener. And you can hopefully see here that, yeah, the tension on that lock bar is really pretty low. Like, it's nice and easy to push that over. And as I say, this is quite well broken in, but even so, I mean, that is really easy to disengage, which is actually quite nice. It's quite a beefy knife. That's kind of the first thing you notice when you pick it up. So you're really expecting to have to strain and struggle with that lock bar, but that's not the case at all. It's nice and easy to sit and play with this, flick it open and disengage it. You can hear the lock there, really nice and smooth, and you can see nice free motion on the pivot. Let's close it up here. Sorry, the lighting's not great for showing these sort of things in my room, but if I can get this to focus here. Focus, you should be able to see there the blade centering is pretty much spot on, perhaps a little bit to the lock side, but pretty damn good. Blade play, very little. Let's open it up. Nice and fast deployment if you do flick it open. Zero play there, solid as a vault, really nice. No side to side, no up or down. And yeah, as I say, I think it's been pretty well used, so very impressed with that. Feels really solid, feels unbreakable. The kind of catchphrase for ZT is built like a tank, and I guess that's kind of how you feel with this. You can see there's a little bit of lock stick. The previous owner, I put a little bit of Sharpie on the lock face there. I don't know if you can see that just right in there. I might need to add a little bit more just to free it up, because sometimes if you really flick it open, you can see the lockup is getting on for, oh, I don't know, maybe 60%, and it's yeah, it can get a little sticky sometimes, but there you go, most of the time it's nice and free. So yeah, you can see the cutout in the lock bar there, and how it is cut out all the way down to the back of the bar. And as I say, on the first generation, I think that was actually at the front, or was perhaps thicker, and that's what was causing it to be quite hard to disengage, so they changed that around for the second gen. And you can see the lock bar stabilizer there, nice feature, kind of a Hinderer trademark, that, I guess, so it's to stop you overextending the lock bar when you push it open. And that could actually be quite easily done with this because it's so flexible, so that just stops you. You can actually feel it hit that and stop right there. So yeah, it's you can see it's really nice and smooth, totally, it's hard to show this camera angle again, but totally free swinging blade. Easy as that to close it up. Detent's still nice. If you look down through the liners, you can see the detent ball is a little worn down, perhaps with use, or perhaps that was done by the previous owner to make it a little easier to disengage, or sorry, to deploy, but hard to tell. You can see there the detent's still fine. There we go. Let's give you a look at these wood scales. Really nice. Nice texturing on them. And yeah, fit and finish in terms of following the lines of the frame. Really hard to fault. Pretty much perfect. And yeah, if you want to chime in about the wood type, that'd be great. You can see there the detail along this kind of jimping on the bottom and the back of the handle, and it really follows that very nicely. So very impressed with the wood scales. It came with a G10 on it and the wood separate. I put these on pretty much straight away, and I'm guessing it's probably going to stay on there permanently because I don't mind the standard G10, but you know, if you have the option, I'd certainly go with the wood. It just makes a nice difference, sets it apart a little bit, and makes it a bit of a talking piece. So very happy with this. I may replace the pocket clip at some point because it does look a little bit worn, but yeah, other than that, very happy with the way it is, and it's been in my pocket for a few days. It'll stay there for a while. It's a nice using blade, and yeah, it's quite large by standard of most of the blades in my collection, and I do notice it is quite hefty. It's about 6 ounces, I think. Blade's about 3.5 inches. The handle's about 4.5, I think. So it's pretty large by the standards of most of the blades, but you know, it doesn't feel too bad, and certainly pocket carrying, don't really notice it's there. It doesn't feel too bulky, and nice rounded corners on the wood scale, and a nice deep carry pocket clip. You can see very little of the handle sticking out when that's right down deep in your pocket. So overall, very impressed. Lovely using blade, and very glad that I took the plunge and picked it up when I got the chance. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.